eerie energy surrounding him and his team after the loss against Minnesota.
A lot of questions for everything. Talked about sex, and we'll find out today who's got the best answers.
So here we go from Lincoln, Nebraska. Well, they're a road underdog again today. It's Nebraska's defense on the field first. And Stone to throw on his first play, and it's complete underneath, and they pick up.
So far this year, he won with Johanna.
Well, here is Como Lafe for the first time, and didn't quite get 4.5.
This is where Northwestern wants to live. 3rd and 3, got the total playbook.
On the first third down of the day, they keep it on the run and driving ahead for a first down. Nebraska has not stopped the run well this year. Northwestern runs it as much as anybody, and they ran a little bit early.
To stop the run.
You'll see a lot of different fronts, a lot of different personnel combinations today for Nebraska. And after the penalty, Northwestern gets 3 of those penalty yards back with Joseph Hyman. And Vincent Shavers is healthy this week. He's up in the gap, and he's coming. And McCullough almost got there as the ball goes fluttering incomplete. And McCullough twisting inside. They pick him up to the sideline and incomplete. Big day for Luke Akers. The instruction is do not let Barney beat you. He has some good hang time on it. And everybody goes colliding. Flag comes out. Right at the spot of that collision.
It looked like he was blocked into him. They'll definitely take a look at that or discuss it. So here's taking a look. Again, this is a victory.
There was no foul for kick catch interference. The player was blocked into the receiver. First down.
On the year. And it's on the ground with his bell cow, Emmett Johnson, to begin the day.
Or pass blocking. He said pass blocking.
His first chance to pass block here, and it's well blocked, and it's well thrown. Gatula was questionable before the game, and he cannot go. So more short-handed action, and Isaiah Hunter on back-to-back touches, banging off bodies with a first down across the 35. There's Hunter for 26 and a first down on his second straight catch. Now back from the belly of Johnson, who zigzags his way in this space. The Big Ten's leading rushers, 3rd in yards per game. He's 1st in yards overall in the Nebraska run game. More than 100 carries more than the next guy on the team. Viola is popped, and that goes.
Lakewood, Ohio native is quick, man.
That's Johnson carving out space right up the gut. 4 runs, 3 passes. Now 3rd and 2. And it's Johnson again, wrangled in the backfield. Braden Bruss got there, but pushed him forward. Nebraska on the march after forcing the punt. And keep it with Johnson. Foot race to the edge. He slips out of there. Opening drive score for Nebraska.
Watch, the edge pressure is going to come off the backside. I think that was Bruss. 33 just outruns him.
The gritty in between the tackles run on 3rd down, and then
touchdown.
Touchdown on the opening drive. Hold to Hyman and through the back. Northwestern out for the second time on offense after their first drive stalled on the 3rd and 12. Huskers didn't score a touchdown all last week. Already got 7 up on the board before their defense takes the field for the second time. Stone pumps, nothing there, and it's caught but out of bounds. Northwestern against Nebraska defense would be early down runs, like we see here on a 2nd down. And that pile keeps driving ahead to the 30. Sea of Red rises again on a 3rd and 6.
And lots of folks at the line of scrimmage showing pressure, showing a 0 blitz.
How many are coming? They dropped a couple out. 4 coming. Stone unloads it. Wilde twisting in the air. Made the adjustment and the catch.
Great execution.
They needed 6. They got 37. And that rugby scrum comes up. Wildcats again, plowing ahead for an 8-yard pickup.
Their best guy.
Yep. He's on the sideline. Wilde is here. And this is Stone keeping himself, even after taking some big shots the past few weeks. Right into the teeth of the Nebraska front for no gain.
Zone coverage here for Nebraska.
Tight end shifting around, give the hit for Stone on the coverage. They set up a quick pass to the running back, and Hyman is run down by Singleton. Wilde down to the bottom side. And motion him into the slot. Stone given time. Stone fires, and it's knocked down. For the Wildcats. 8-10 on the year, and Olsen on his first of this Saturday, 2 weeks ago at Maryland. And Akers does give him a returnable one. Williams across the 25 off a couple of hits. And another good return.
Is progress, maturity.
No sacks in an opening drive score, and they move Raiola around, and he takes the space he's given.
Trying to stop Emmett Johnson. Great job right there, pulling forward for 6.
And it's back with Johnson, who stutter steps his way through 2 tackles. Uline missed also, and some of those sure tacklers for Northwestern are seeing Johnson slip right through their fingers. 15-yard pickup, well earned behind those big boys for Emmett Johnson. Right back into plus territory for Nebraska. Play fake, Hubbard has Raiola escape, and there's another one. Wrinkles as a play caller. Taken over midseason last year. Out quick again. It's complete on the screen. Had to go to the hospital in Minneapolis last week, but playing a week later. On a 3rd and 4. It's Mosey patiently working to the edge. Northwestern rallies to get him before he can turn the corner.
4th and 1 at this point, absolutely go.
Well, it's Heinrich Harburg, who's now a tight end, the former quarterback, handing off. Johnson with the second effort. And it looks like he got there. Led them to hold the ball.
Yep, that's the key right there. Offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson's play selection and then ability to execute said plays. 10 runs, 5 passes that took that all day long.
More trickery. It's Barney using his lightning speed out to the edge, and he is clocked on the sideline. Had a quiet couple of weeks. They get him going in the run game as Johnson runs into Carmine Bastone, the best run stopper in the middle of that Northwestern defense. Anyway, it's 3rd down. Bastone back in there in the middle of the defense. Raiola rolls the pocket. And a twisting catch by Barney. Can he get there? He can't. Garner Wallace. And it's Harburg under center again. And they go twist push. And he is right at the 25. That's where he needs to have it.
Northwestern going with the submarine.
Dylan Raiola back there in the shotgun. And handing to Johnson on the 1st down. And he meets Bastone again. Good plays for Bastone on this drive. Hubbard is home to the quarterback. A straight bull rush off the edge. And Hubbard plants Raiola. Turner Corcoran in the game at right time.
Yeah, very versatile guy. Has played a ton. Was playing earlier in this game as a tight end fullback type character.
It's a 3rd down screen for Hunter. And Northwestern, as they do a lot, for a try to 7-point lead for Nebraska. And that is off the target. Special teams have been excellent for Nebraska this year, and David Braun juiced up after his team gets a stop. And leading the way for a short pickup. And running away from that matchup, seeking space on the edge with Pomolafe, who's chopped down at the 35. 3rd down and 1, and Stone calls his own number, and plenty there for the 1st down. Wagner comes in motion. They bump out on him. And it's a play fake. And a setup for the tight end. And through a tackle. He checks out on this 2nd down and 3. A hard count. Almost got Nebraska jumping. Now Stone, clean pocket through hands and incomplete. 3rd down and short. Movement up front. And Hyman has the 1st down regardless of that flag. Looked to be offside on Nebraska, but he's out to the 48.
Offside. Defense, number 5, the penalties decline. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Well, it took a Ball State guy to add that 1 yard. It's at the 49, not the 48. On 1st and 10. It's Hyman busting to the edge, and hey, there's Van Poppel ready to go against this run-first offense today.
4-3 group now.
Yeah, those big boys in there now. Stone lost the ball on the mesh. Nebraska crowd rises again on a third down. Stone on a 3rd and 5. Out to the edge. Drew Wagner stutters the feet and cuts back in. Keeps the drive alive after the close call for Northwestern on the fumble. Now the fresh set into tight coverage. Guthrie was all over. They're doing exactly that. They're controlling the clock. And they have on this drive as Como Lafe skirts out of there, makes a cut back inside. As we're inside 4 minutes on this 1st and goal. Quick set, nothing there. Stone has it knocked down. A snap off target. Stone made the adjustment and right into the arms of Van Poppel.
Take care of the rock.
14th play of this drive coming up. Nebraska showing pressure. They bring 4. They set up a screen for Hyman. And Hyman is cut down at the 7. Marquise Buford up making the stick to force a Northwestern field goal try. When flags come out at the end, as that scrum went all the way to the fencing, and 2 flags came out.
Result of the play was 4th down coming up. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 defense, 62 offense. That is the first unsportsmanlike conduct foul for each player. A second results in game disqualification.
So top of the screen here, it's going to continue. As you said, the security fence. It's just like, looks like Berenson and Singleton.
Looking to cut it to a 1-point Nebraska lead. And Olsen is 2 for 2 on the day. A great series, game 2 tonight.
No return.
A couple field goals for today. Coaching profile sponsored by KFC. It's finger licking good. So the start of this 3-minute offense begins on the ground with Isaiah Hunter.
We'll just stick with the tackle for loss and set up 2nd and long. Screen down.
Motion, and they run it. Finish wide open. Wow, that is a gaping hole. Emmett Johnson picks up all that penalty yardage and more with the yardage on the loss. And man, that was a massive hole. First down, Raiola, quick pop to Key along the sideline. In this 1-point game, just ahead of the 2-minute timeout. It's Mosey, another big one up the middle. First it was Johnson, this time it's his backup Mosey, all the way down to the 35. To the 2-minute timeout. And a couple big chunks in the run game for Nebraska on this drive at the +35. Play fake. Sideline shot is knocked away. Fussell hadn't played a defensive snap in 3 weeks since Fussell came back. Big play on this first down. Well, that is shut down. Aiden Hubbard all over Emmett Johnson for a big loss. That loss backed him up from the 35 to the 41. Raiola does get it north to Lindenmeyer, back into field goal range, and plowing his way toward the sticks. Northwestern with a late push, and forward progress stopped a yard short. So it is 4th down with inside a minute to go. It's Raiola under center.
Hard counter.
Well, they do snap it. He rolls out. Nothing's there. Raiola reverses, and ball comes out. Raiola fumbled it. Northwestern gets their stop with a takeaway. Fred Davis plucks it off the turf. Turnover here. Missed field goal before. And Northwestern keeps it on the ground with just 1 timeout and a half a minute to go. And it looks like they'll take it into the locker room. Was in this spot last week, but in reverse. This time they lead into the half at 7-6. So Nebraska gets the ball first after deferring. And this opens up for Williams. He beats the kicker. He's down the sideline. He's through Smith's grasp. Can one you mentioned, the 85-yard return that he got ripped pretty good about.
Absolutely. By
his teammates. Caught at the 10-yard line at Maryland. And the first kick return touchdown for Nebraska since J.D. Spielman in 2017. Opens up the second half here in 2025.
Looks like it's designed for this action, the press and then bounce.
Will not have a chance at a clapback.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Kicking team of 35. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now they play from behind, down 8, with Preston Stone back out there at quarterback. And it's Cornhuskers hit at the line. Stone, quick set, and fires sideline. Hayden Elegant for the first time today. Where do they go on a 3rd and 2? It's a run for Stone. Wildcats offense. So turns Cornhuskers a first down carry, and he bounces as he exits for Joseph Hyman. It's a pick to him. It's out to the edge again, but off Wildy's hands.
Right here, it's going to be another version of zone.
6 men up at the line.
4-man rush.
They bring 4. They picked it up to the sideline, incomplete, and the diving play by Wagner. From Wagner pulling that in. So Akers hangs another one up in the air and avoids. And a punt for the Wildcats has Raiola in Nebraska, 89 yards away from pay dirt. Now the penetration there and a terrific move. Wow, great feat for Williams in the backfield to make Bastone miss. All right, Mike, thank you very much. Johnson at 5.5 yards a carry in this game.
Backwards.
It is backwards, and Barney stays behind the line. Fitzgerald loves to fly up from safety. He's
a long, sustained touchdown finishing drive and second.
After the loss, they keep it on the ground with Mosey. And a 3rd down and long is ahead.
The 3rd string corner down at the bottom. Empty.
Uline bumps out there. They go after that matchup, and Uline makes the open field tackle, but not before the first down. And maybe, no, he didn't get there. He's short. A chance at a punt return for Northwestern. Almost got there. Hubbard with the Archie Wilson left-footed punt. It drops Wagner all the way back inside the 15.
We do every single detail right to the maximum of our ability. We got a shot. 0 blitz.
And Nebraska late getting guys moved around. They get McCullough off the edge, who Stone avoided and kept the play alive. It's tipped and picked off. Donovan Jones
tries to run it or pass it against the grain and just on the back hip of his guy. And we'll take a look at that, make sure that did not hit the ground.
With his first interception, it's Nebraska's first takeaway in a few weeks. And now good field position.
Following the play, personal foul, grasping and twisting the face mask. Defense, number 12.
And Smith retaliated and got called for it. Emmett Johnson out to the edge. He's playing a bunch. Raiola, fade ball, Hunter twisting around. Is a foot in? Yes, it is!
Anything. Results in man coverage, zeroed up on the outside. Great location. Good tempo on the ball. There's security.
And Isaiah Hunter from Dylan Raiola. It's a 2-score lead for Nebraska.
Nebraska has flipped the script on Northwestern and just out-teamed them.
Joseph Hyman finally gets a shot to return one, and it's shut down across the 20. Wildcats never trailed last week when they shut out Purdue 19-0. Now facing a 2-score trail here on the road in Lincoln. Cornhuskers. No huge pops yet for that Northwestern run game with Cornhuskers. Stone steps out of pressure again, and on target, he has Elegant extending the play. That's what they've been calling Hayden Elegant in that Northwestern locker room. Flags everywhere.
Get it out of the game.
Those defensive
Get that
jerks.
stuff out of the game.
So first and 5. Komalapis slithers through. Didn't look like there was much there. And Nebraska late to get organized. It's a reverse for Wilde. Nelson with a lead block, and Wilde made the first man miss. And then he's chopped down by Shavers. And Shavers at full go this week. Only played 7 snaps last week. Well, their most impactful guy. And he's right in the mix again. Hyman across the 30. And it'll be a 3rd down and short. It's the speed back Hyman next to Stone. On a 3rd and 3. Stone lets it fly. He can't complete it. Wagner tied up in coverage with Wright.
See if they target him again.
On a 4th down. Stone to throw to the sideline, and is Elegant to the mark. He worked back.
It's upheld.
After review, the ruling of a 1st down is upheld. 1st down, Northwestern.
Well, 1st and 10 from the 25. And Hyman twisted off 2 tackles, and now he's off to the races. Hyman has a 1st down. And a horse collar at the end of it. 3 flags are out as he got dragged down by Sierra Wright.
Tackles, bounce outside.
Personal foul, twist to the face mask. Defense, number 1. Half passes to the goal, another run, automatic. Take your down.
Plus the penalty on Wright, and it's 1st and goal.
Heavy personnel, 6 offensive linemen.
Toss. Komalafe driving to the end zone. Touchdown, Northwestern. And the chance at the officiating. You can keep that 2 in the loss column the rest of the way. No chance for Williams to return it. It's Mosey instead, and he is blasted.
Together, Dylan Rowland and Isaiah Hutton.
Emmett Johnson trying to do his best, Joe Hyman. Bouncing out of a couple of hits. Well, remember, Dylan Raiola, when he is kept clean, is one of the best passers in the country. Today, he's only been sacked once.
Yeah, last week, 9. Other games this season have been really close to 9, too close to 9. Embattled offensive line playing their really 3rd right tackle right now. Compete.
He is on target to Barney, who swung down. And the ball, did that juggle out? Northwestern is saying yes. The spot is a yard short of the 1st down as Uline came out of the pile with it. It's still Nebraska ball, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 1 at the 32.
Officials rule forward progress to stop before losing possession of the ball.
So forward progress right there means there is no possible review. That looked like that ball was loose, but forward progress means that didn't happen.
Yep. So a chance for Northwestern to get right back off of the field after their touchdown. Made it a 1-score game again. Fitzgerald coming on a blitz. Right up the middle, it's Johnson stuck by Flakes. But he has enough, nosing ahead for a 1st down.
How many of those have we had both ways? Both teams just pounded it inside the line to gain. Here's what, the 33-yard line, and he gets just across the tick. 33 and an 8. What is that? Just enough.
The linesman and the line judge have had a busy day on these short yardage plays. Nebraska has gone run heavy today. 10 more runs than they've thrown it. And they'll run it again. It's Johnson twisting ahead. He's up to the 39. But also 5-2.
In very good company, and shockingly a 1-score game right now.
4th quarter starts with Johnson being shut down. 4th down a bunch when they've gotten into short yardage.
Zone coverage, 4-man rush is what they're showing.
Best pass rusher is Saka, now up in a 2-point stage, dropping out of there. And to the edge, and that's right at the line to get again. And Dane Key is marched short. So in their own territory, 4th and 1 this time, they will send out Archie Wilson.
And that's shaking his head right there. That's just the patience game. Patience. Oh, wow.
Big punt from Wilson, but too much on it. The defense got him a stop after they scored a touchdown. And Hyman avoided the loss.
Yeah.
Made something out of it again. He got one.
Almost popped it off the front side. Edge pressure came.
One pick today for Stone. When he protects it, they win. When he doesn't, they lose.
And that's literally the difference in this game. You take away the kickoff return for a touchdown. That tip pick to Donovan Jones, the difference maker. That's the one that Northwestern fans will rue if they can't turn this around.
Nebraska fans will do the same on that 4th down play. If Stone can drive him down. They thought they had the ball back on. Last drive. Stone sideline and incomplete. And the flag is out. Elegant and Marshall tangled. And the flag is down in that spot.
Looked like a grab and restrict.
Pass interference.
Marshall.
Defense number 10. 15-yard
Double
penalty,
move.
automatic. First down.
Right there, that right shoulder is what they threw it on, is when they let it go. It was right after that action, so that's what they determined was the grab and restrict. Obviously, everybody in red disagrees. It's one of the few times that Andrew Marshall, who has been tracking Griffin Wilde, Northwestern's #1 wideout, was matched up. And then the hitch and go from Elegant, first down.
A couple double moves for Northwestern today have worked. Wilde on the sluggo. The hitch and goes worked for the Cats also. Komalafe shut down. Donovan Jones up playing the run.
They designed an offensive play. You want to get your running back on the edge against their quote-unquote worst tackler in the playbook. It's supposed to be that guy. Donovan Jones is a physical finisher. The pin down, the crack by the outside receiver. That's one-on-one in space. Komalafe loses that one. Tip of the cap, Donovan Jones.
No gain for Komalafe, setting up a 2nd and 10. Stone steps out of pressure, calling for a man, and Elegant caught that. Tight roping the sideline. The spot is 2 yards short. Elegant was the guy who made the 4th down catch that was controversial. This spot 2 yards shy, 3rd down.
They end up bringing up Will Backer. In that case, Watson Trent just creates a little havoc inside. Preston Stone bails. So just looking at the feet here of Elegant. Inbounds. Looked to have control of it. 3rd and 2.
A couple tight ends in the backfield with Stone on 3rd and 2. Komalafe sifting out the edge. Everything stacked up. He escapes out the back. And Komalafe is home. From nothing doing to 56 yards. And 2 points away from a tie for the Cats.
I don't know who said it, but someone's going to get removed.
Just an absolute scrum. 3rd and 2. Pounds it in. Nebraska players trip over themselves. Komalafe bounces it out to green artificial surface and goes the distance. 21-19. Immediately from that Northwestern sideline, goal for 2 to tie it up. Wilde is up top, the outside of that bunch. Shifting now to the inside, has a matchup favorable as they switch around.
Nebraska late getting organized again. They're still shifting guys around. Stone out quickly, and that's caught for 2 to tie up the game by Elegant. Seems inevitable.
Absolutely.
The Northwestern and Nebraska played in Lincoln. And flag comes out. on the kickoff out of bounds. So Nebraska will have good field position.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Nebraska's elected to take the ball to 35-yard line. First down.
Well designed by Zach Lujan. Great execution, Preston State.
All set up by the Cornhuskers 56-yard play, and Uline picks it off. He has become an interception machine for Northwestern. His 4th of the year. And this game is flipped on its head as Northwestern takes back over.
Just beating Dylan Riley. You'll see him right here, 37 in the box. It's the action up front. This is looks like a play action pass to me, and he just sits on it, reads his eyes. You see the offensive line, some of them in pass set mode. That means it's a predetermined pass. Head hanging right there, but you got to rally your squad here, 15.
But from down 2 scores to tied, now Northwestern thinking about a lead at 21 all. Off the U-line pick, Stone out to Hyman. He's out to the 30. 4 on first down.
And the throw on first down, that's at least the 3rd time tonight, maybe 4th time tonight. On a 1st and 10 drop back pass, that's rare for Northwestern. A little bit of a tendency buster. Try to put John Butler's defensive quarter from Nebraska on its heels. All geared up to stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Just an occasional dink and dunk. Right here, 2nd and 6.
Wagner, the motion man. And running to the edge where McCullough is set up. Hyman reverses. And in a race with Wright, and he turns that into a positive play. Another play headed nowhere that Hyman sneaks out the back door on.
How does that happen?
How does it happen? 3rd down.
Physical, speed. Guys, you know, out running angles, and right there, Preston Stone says, I'm a smart quarterback. Oh, wait, I see Sierra Wright. I see Lenhart. I see some really angry Cornhuskers. I'm gonna sort of, kind of, oh, I can't get there, coach.
Jack Olson's field goal range, a 3rd and 4 has arrived. Play clock getting late. Stone gets it off. Cornhuskers bounces to the edge. First down and more. Flag is out as he's pushed out of bounds. With a flag out at the 25, right where that run broke. For now, a first down for Northwestern.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And as sarcastic of a cheer as you will ever hear, as Nebraska finally gets a call.
There must be a Bronx in Lincoln. Watch 75, he's right here. Komolafe, anytime that guy presses inside right there, no doubt about that. Right arm outside, doesn't have to do that either if you're a Northwestern fan. Komolafe, that's one of those things that's great about him. We saw that touchdown run, and the near touchdown run right there. He bounces with speed, puts his O-line in a bad situation sometimes.
Goes on Guthrie, the safety, and that backs Northwestern up to the 36. This is stretching out longer than Jack Olson's career long with a field goal.
Timeout, David Brown burst down the sideline.
McCullough showing pressure, walking up to the line. Stone protected. Stone throws an interception. He gives it right back to Nebraska.
Dylan Raiola has a chance to answer.
First pick for Wright in 2 years, sets up Raiola to throw a deep ball that's just out of the reach of Hunter. Now let's see if they put that patience back to the test. They do. With the inside run for Johnson. Getting close to the midway point of this 4th quarter in the tie game. It empties out for Raiola. And he chucks it to Johnson, who is dragged to the sideline. And no spot has been sure today. And another one that's right there. This is a first down.
Another very tight spot. One thing that Nebraska is getting when they get to that empty, you're going to see Saka, one of your best pass rushers, as a dropper. So sometimes you want to almost get into that, knowing what they're going to be in. Daniel Holgerson has a couple things dialed in that they've had success with. Right there, moving the chains.
A very reliable back, both as a runner and a pass catcher. He has the most catches on the team. This in his more traditional spot, and he slipped. Emmett Johnson ahead for 2 yards. Najee Story made the stick.
Najee Story being big, physical, along the lines of Bastone, Flakes, have been great in the middle of this defense for a long time.
And those are those developmental guys right in the core of it that have played their whole career at Northwestern. Second down. A quick toss. Northwestern's ready for it. Story's out there again. Braden Turner was as well. And it's another third down out around midfield for the Cornhuskers.
A well-coached defense. Very, very, very few false steps on this team. Braden Turner, shot out of a cannon, recognizes screen. We've seen Robert Fitzgerald do it time and time again. Obviously, U-line, Bruss. Right where they want to make it, 3rd and 7.
And Nebraska just got 3rd and 8 with Johnson out of the backfield. Johnson in the backfield here with Barney in motion. Saka coming. Raiola steps up. On the move, it's complete. He's got Hunter. Drive survives to his favorite target. Aiden Hubbard is injured. The defensive end for Northwestern behind the play.
So Saka comes off the edge, beats Corcoran. Good awareness, vision.
First down, it's Johnson. Ahead of the sticks, Michael Kilbane drags him back after a few more yards on a first down carry. Johnson, who's over 100 yards on the day.
Can't be overstated how Daniel Holgerson, offensive coordinator, you know, a air raid pioneer, Leacher, Hal Mummy and company. He lost his air raid card many years ago. He runs it too much now. But sticking with this makes this team very difficult to defend.
It sets up play action. Rainbow to the goal line, incomplete. The body's tangled up again. Dane Key was trampled at the goal line with Turner in coverage. And here we go again. 3rd and 7 for a 3rd time on this drive.
I think Fitzgerald gets away with one. The pressure comes from the top side. Just enough to affect it from Fred Davis. And it was either Turner or Fitzgerald to me that had a hook. Effort to find that.
Play clock getting late. Raiola gets it off. Another 3rd down. Key makes the turn, breaks the tackle. He's got enough. And Nebraska has been money on this drive on 3rd down. He made Garner Wallace miss, and the Nebraska captain moves the chains.
A nice execution, as you said, 3rd and long, not normally where you want to live. 3 for 3, big time throw there. A little pressure in his face. Key, the physical run, running through Wallace. And in the red zone. Again, take care of the rock. No sacks, no turnovers, no penalties. Wildcat.
It's Harper taking the handoff to Raiola. Out the other side. Barney is chopped down by Smith. So the wrinkles with Harper today have netted multiple positive plays. This one brings up 2nd down.
Right there, Harper gonna have, a threat to do everything. Here he is, the give to Raiola, flip back, and then it becomes a blocker. Immediately puts on his neck roll, tight end mode, fullback mode.
Both phases of his career in one player right there.
That's right.
Johnson is tripped up. It's Fitzgerald shooting the gap. 3rd down, anybody?
Tripped up by Robert
This is
Fitzgerald.
an easy one for them. It's short. Fitzgerald out of the
Gain of 1. It's third
out of the
and 5 at
sky
11.
again. We've seen him stretch out and make plays. Nebraska is trying to stay perfect on third down on this drive and take as much clock as they can.
The student body out to the left. Got Ford out there in quads for Nebraska. Now they balance out the formation with Barney. On a 3rd and 4. It's Barney, the motion man, out across the line to get first down. And a perfect drive on 3rd down continues for Nebraska. 1st and goal.
So we were talking about earlier, he's the gadget guy, the movement guy. He's going to come in motion just to run a little flat route at the line to gain. Clearing route by Dane Key. Inside out insurance tackle from Braden Bruss is all he could do. Well designed by that man, Van Holverson.
And the clock will dive inside 3 minutes. On this long drive for Nebraska. This will be the 13th play of this drive. All started with the pick on 3rd down by Javen Wright, the Nebraska defense. Johnson seeking, driving, Johnson, touchdown Nebraska!
The push, the collapse on this right side. And then it's just squat rack drill.
4 3rd downs. This Nebraska crowd feeling much better. Northwestern comeback that Nebraska just put in the rear view on a long drive to give them the lead back. And Wagner is planted at the 25. Last time out there, Stone threw a pick, but turned around for the Nebraska lead.
Russian 3.
He extends. Stone back across his body, and there's Wilde for a first down. Good response from the pick. First down, Northwestern.
2:30 and counting here. Got to get a couple before the 2-minute timeout. Both teams, remember, used one earlier. 2 timeouts left.
Amarazi late getting set. Stone gets it off. And fires sideline, twisting around. It's Welsing to grab it. Plus territory for the Wildcats. On the move, he throws it in the dirt. Preston Stone had Welsing, who just made a high degree of difficulty catch. He was wide open this time.
It was. That was the one. They were playing man coverage. Griffin Wilde won on the little in cut. That's where he originally was trying to throw it. Then he came outside. Both those guys saw Wilde wide open, so they went away from Wilson. Whew. Near miss. 4 down territory here. Nobody hurt. Preston Stone just move on, knowing you're going to have 4 downs for every chunk you need.
2 timeouts for the Wildcats. On a 2nd down. Screen. Hyman. Nice tackle. 35. Good tackle, Vincent Shavers. Bringing up 3rd down. Clock winds 1:45.
Gotta go quickly here. They could run the ball here. Got Nebraska kind of down onto one thing they're doing in this prevent mode. They're getting to a 4-man rush different ways. Right here, they're showing 0 blitz. 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage. Man coverage in the back. They've bluffed out of this. They've blotted. Let's see what they do here.
They added Guthrie. Open man, and it's incomplete. Como Lafe, the intended target. And this game comes down to this, 4th and 6.
Where again, offensive coordinator Zach Lujan, you're in Preston Stone's ear right here. It's 4th down. You're going to get the ball out. This throwaway might be the winning play that comes up. Good job coming off that time by Winery, creating pressure, making it difficult. See if Nebraska elects here to take a picture, call timeout, or if they'll save it.
85,000 fans turned up. Game-deciding play right here.
0 coverage down here.
4th and 6.
Sluggo.
Stone takes that shot. Wilde can run it down. Best against best. Andrew Marshall with the coverage on Wilde.
They showed the 0 blitz. Saw the one-on-one earlier. Watch, it's another sluggo. Slant and go. Probably a grab hold. Just at the outstretched hands of Wilde. There's been a few each way. That's probably grabbing restrict by Marshall. But it ain't over.
The early grab, Northwestern fans are also saying the late contact as well. And 1:13 and 2 timeouts for the Wildcats. Nebraska back on the ball after the 4th down stop.
Heavy personnel here, 6 O-linemen in. Got Corcoran as that tight end to the right side.
Johnson squeaking through. He picked up an extra 2 or 3 on that squeeze. Mike Pereira, your thoughts on that last play?
Yeah, I think, listen, it's not pass interference because although there is the contact, the ball's already there. But this is holding. And if you take away that action right there, then he's going to get to that spot where the pass would have come down. So I do think that Nebraska got a pretty big break there.
1 timeout, 1:08. 7-yard pickup for Johnson on 1st down. He bounces around, has this 1st down, and he slides across midfield to move it ahead for Nebraska.
Ball game. Handle their business here in victory mode. A massive response for this Nebraska football program.
We mentioned it that this time of year has not been fun the last 2 years. And after last week, the wheels started turning. Could they respond and flush that and flush the recent history? And the 6th win for Nebraska comes before they get to November. So another 1-score Nebraska Northwestern game that had so many emotional turns in this game. Nebraska ends up winning it 28-21.